Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the end of March. Few days earlier than I usually post, but I am going on a trip. So more on that after we get done with all the stitchy stuff. We'll jump right into the stitchy stuff, huh? I'm Carrie, by the way, if you're new here. One of these days I will actually make a list of what I need to talk about when I talk about a Flosstube, but today is not that day. So anyway, right back into stitching where we went. So my chaotic plan of just working on whatever the heck I felt like is actually going pretty well for me, and I got quite a bit done. Hi, Maka. On several different projects, and my focus changed from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. That doing whatever the heck I feel like working on plan there. Hey, it worked. Wow, go figure. So the first thing that I worked on was ink circles 5 o'clock, and I had been working on this one. I started working on it when I did my beachy Val Sal, and kind of kept it up, and because I was enjoying working on it and would like to see this one finished this year. So the last time that I showed it, it looked like this. And I worked on it quite a bit at the beginning of the month, and even got to finish page and move the Q snap. And here is where it is at now. So, making some good progress on page 2. Page 3 and 4 are significantly smaller, so once I have page 2 done, we are going to be really, really close in the home stretch. That being said, I haven't been working on it because I've been working on a few other things. One of the things I've been working on is one of the ones that I was working on last month as well, and that was my restart of the Chromatic Dragon. Started by Pain Free Crafts. I can't remember who did the artwork right now, but it'll be so anyway, as I said, I restarted this one last month. I think I might have shown it, and that's where I was, and here is where I am right now. So this is, I'm working Royal Rose, and this is across the top of the first 2 pages. The first 2 blocks of 10 deep across the first 2 pages of the pattern, and now I'm pretty close to a decision point. I can either, once I get done with this block, I will be done with the first 2 pages. Then I'm either going to need to move the Q snap over if I want to continue and work all the way across the top. There's another 2.5 pages, I think, maybe 3.5 pages left to go across the top. So I can move the Q snap and continue across the top, or I can work downward on these 2 pages that I have already started. And I haven't decided which one I want to do yet, so I'm still thinking about that. But a lot farther than I got on it the first time. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of confetti in these little spikes and frills. So I'll go really, really fast when I'm doing the black, and then it might take me an hour to do 30 or 40 stitches in these horns. So it goes in fits and starts, but I'm trying to work on it somewhat consistently, and I'm at almost 3% done. I may finish it before the next decade comes around. One of the other ones I haven't worked very much on, I just picked it up a couple of nights ago, was Blissfully Unaware. Again, it's at the point where I don't need to show you the pattern anymore because I've got so much done that it's pretty obviously Like, I mean, you can tell what the pattern is. So here is where it was at the last time I showed it to you, and I've gotten not much further at all. It's hard to see, but I got all of the hands done. So all of this bottom is done. All that is left is to do these scallops that go along the bottom, and then this one will be done. And very, very excited about that. The only thing I'm not sure of is, and it just depends on the light. Sometimes those hands show up pretty well, those skeletal arms, and sometimes they don't, and so I'm debating if I want to backstitch them to make sure that they show up all the time. Thoughts are welcome. I'm leaning towards yes, but I also don't want to do any work I don't have to, because that's a couple more days worth of stitching that I could be doing something else with. So let me know what you think. And then the last thing that I've been working on is a new one. This is the Empyrean Sal from Forbidden Fiber Company. It started a couple of weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. We've got, 2 weeks ago. We've gotten to, Monday will be the third pattern drop. And I am doing it, I ordered the kit, so I am doing it with the called for Forbidden Fiber colors, as well as on the called for Forbidden Fiber fabric, which is called Yellowtail. And here is where I am at right now with this one. I'm a little over 30 to 35% done with what we've gotten so far. The problem is, as I said, we are getting more on Monday, which as I'm filming is tomorrow. But I think this one's gonna go with me on my trip. So hopefully get some stitching done on it in the airport and all that jazz. I think I'm only gonna take one with me. So that is all my stitching. Plans for the coming month. I wanna try to not keep up because I'm already behind, but I want to keep stitching on the Empyrean Sal so that I don't get so far behind to the point that I don't get anything done. I want to finish Blissfully Unaware, and I'm going to keep working on Chromatic Dragon, and then once I finish Blissfully Unaware, I will figure out something else to slot in place of that. Maybe 5 o'clock will be the one that I start working on. Flosstube itchy nose. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Hopefully I won't. Well, maybe hopefully I do, because this is like bad itchy nose. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I will be working on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I saved the dork girls from themselves, haul. I have haul. I have a bunch of haul that isn't here yet, but what is here is my goodies from Nashville. I did pretty good this year. I didn't spend a lot. I only got stuff that I really, really liked. Don't you two go being painful. So, the first one I got is by the Mindful Needle. And it is Flock to the Sea. Next up, and this is part of what I got, part of the rest of my stuff. Maybe I will put the other patterns up here somewhere. But Forbidden Fiber Company has a Novel Notions book club. This is going to be the second year. I don't do a lot with it. mostly because I've got so many patterns that I want to make sure I really like them. So I don't want to like join while it's still a mystery kit. But I have ordered a number of the patterns from the 2024 book club. Here was the one for mystery. If you're going to be an open book, be a mystery. Eventually, when I get the upstairs remodeled, I am going to have a room that kind of functions as a library. And so I want to do a lot of these Forbidden Fiber Company book themed. And I've got some other book themed that aren't Forbidden Fiber Company patterns that I'm going to make up for those, for that room eventually. And then I've got all of the color, I got all of the colors for that pattern as well. From the Primitive Hair, I got Furry Babies, Part 2. Beware Wigglelettes. If you've ever met a boxer, you know that that is the sign that needs to be hanging in my house. So I got it for that one. Oh, there it is. Okay. I got a couple of urban stitches. I need to start doing some more black work. So I got a couple more. This is Caliburn and Blue Moon. Glendon Place, Spirits of the Watchtower. I was really excited to see this one because I said the one room that I am working on, I want it to be done in lighthouses, and what better than to have one little spooky lighthouse thrown in. Well, not so spooky. And actually, I can put this and then I can do the pirate ship that they did a couple of years ago. And have a creepy corner of my Great Lakes lighthouse room. And I got the fancy floss and beadwork, or bead package that goes with that one. And then last, I got a couple of the Autumn Lane This is the next installment in the Forsaken Forest series, and it is the Summoner. And then this is going to be a new start, I think, sooner rather than later, because I love it. When I was in college, well, not when I was in college, I still am. I'm an Alpha Gamma Delta, and our mascot is the squirrel. So what better for me than a witchy squirrel? This is Autumn Lane Stitchery's The Apprentice. A witchy squirrel with doing science. I know it's supposed to be a potion, but we're going to say doing science. A witchy squirrel doing science. It's like a picture of me. So I got this one as well. And it's a nice small one. I think it's, let's see, stitched on 16 count. It's going to be 6 inches by 7 inches. So a little bit of a break from some of the huger projects that I'm working on. So yeah, probably we'll start this one sooner rather than later. And that is all I got at Nashville this year. I know, I'm surprised too. But like I said, I have some other stuff potentially in the works that I'm not ready to talk about soon. I should be hearing something soon, and then I will be able to talk about it. But in the meantime, I'm trying to pare back on my spending. I'm not doing a great job, but I'm trying. So there is all the stitchy stuff I have for you. If this is where you leave me, have a great month, and I will see you again at the end of April. If you want to stick around for reading, watching, listening to, and life updates, well, here we are. Life updates. It is Sunday night as I'm filming this, September, whoa, not even close to September, March 23rd. And I am leaving on Tuesday for Boston. And I'm going to be in Boston to watch the World Figure Skating Championships, and I am super excited about it. I'm going to try to do a couple of other touristy things while I'm there, but I am there to watch the World Figure Skating Championships, and I can't wait. So I'm going to be there I fly out Tuesday, I come back Sunday, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to take some books to keep me busy, going to take some stitching to keep me busy, and going to watch a lot of, well, I'm going to watch world-class figure skating. So that's what I've got. That's what's coming up in life updates. And then I'm taking some computer classes this semester, and I'm about a month out from finals. So right now that's not anything big. It's spring break, so I don't even have homework this week. And that's very nice. And that's all I can talk about right now. Like I said, I got some other things in process, but I don't want to jinx anything by talking about it too soon. So, to be determined. Watching, I haven't been doing a lot. I just like random true crime documentaries on Max or Netflix or whatever. So nothing particularly worth writing home about. Listening, I finished a couple of audiobooks. I finished The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second book in the Mistborn series. It was awesome. I loved it. I've got the third book waiting to be listened to as soon as I'm done with the one that I'm currently listening to. And the other one I finished was Cables and Conjurers, which was the 15th book in the Vampire Knitting Club series. I think Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole Jen made a comment the other day, and I agree that they're kind of like, they're getting kind of formulaic. But I mean, I feel like any time you get 15 books in a series, you're probably going to start to get formulaic, or else you're going to get so far from, the other thing that happens to me with series is they get so far from what they originally were that I don't like them anymore. So I guess predictable is good in this case. If you do read that, and you read the spin-off Vampire Knitting Club Cornwall, by the way, and you haven't read the most recent book in each of them, read the Oxford one first, Cables and Conjurers. They were published, I think, in the opposite order. And when I read Scallops and Sorcerers, which is the second Cornwall book, they kept referring to events that I knew nothing about because they happened in Cables and Conjurers. So, Cables and Conjurers before Scallops and Sorcerers, if you follow those. And then reading. As I mentioned, I have read a lot this year. I don't have a current count of where I'm at. I'll probably put it right here. But I am going to meet my goal of 100 books this year easily. In fact, I'm probably going to redo that. And I had mentioned in the last couple of videos that I wasn't sure what to do about my books because I'm going through so many that I don't want it to be like a big section of my Flosstube. I downloaded TikTok. I might start talking about books on TikTok instead. I'm never going to be a book talker or anything, but just to kind of separate it out from my stitchy stuff since it's starting to become, as you can see, a hobby of its own. But I thought I'd just go through these books. When I say quickly, I'm going to try to give just like a couple words about each of them and whether or not I recommend you read them. So first, I finished Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, and it is, since I haven't been telling you about what I read the first book, One Dark Window, earlier in the year. Yes, if you like fantasy, these are kind of a gothic fantasy type romance series. I really enjoyed it. They are not super spicy, depending on if you like that. If you don't like that, they're not super spicy. There's a little bit, but not much at all. But I really liked this book. This is the Shepherd King duology. This is a nonfiction, Book and Dagger, as about how scholars and librarians became the unlikely spies of World War II. I didn't like this book as much as I thought I would. I did like it, and it was very interesting, and I think it's just kind of what is going on in the United States right now colored my reading of this, because it's like, because it is. So I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought it would. It was still definitely worth reading, just it's a little bit of a thicker read. I mean, it's a nonfiction and it's a little bit dry because it talks a lot about libraries and lectures and stuff like that. But still very interesting. Love Letters to a Serial Killer. Cringy. I did not like this book at all. I didn't like the main character. The ending was weird. I figured out the plot twist as soon as I met the character that was involved in the plot twist, and it's like, nah. The Facemaker, a visionary surgeon's battle to mend the disfigured soldiers of World War I. Again, a little bit of a slower read because it's factual. It is very, I don't think it's as dry as the other one, but it's not going to be like a quick, suspenseful read. But it is very interesting, and there are some pictures in here of some of the reconstructions that they did, and this was before plastic surgery was really its own discipline, so they're kind of amazing. So, yeah, I think so. The Family Game by Catherine Steadman. I wanted to like this book a lot more than I did. First of all, there were a couple editing issues in here where they actually had the wrong word, and it was super distracting to me. I hated it. But the actual game, the way the synopsis was written, this book didn't really follow what I expected it to. And it was good, but like I said, it didn't hold me until I got to the very end. It didn't hold me like I hoped it would. Most recent book I just finished, Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is part of the Regency Fairy Tales series. This was an adorable, little, cute, cozy fantasy, and I really enjoyed it. And Abigail Owen, Games Gods Play. I loved this book. I really did. It's spicy, so whether that brings you to a book or turns you off from a book, it's spicy. So be aware going into that. But it's based a lot off of Greek mythology. It's in a modern setting. It's kind of like, I heard somebody describe it as a cross between Percy Jackson and the Hunger Games, but for grown-ups. And that's accurate. That's accurate. So I really liked this one. As soon as I got done reading it, I pre-ordered the second one that is coming out later this year. So liked this one. And those are my books for March. So that is our reading, watching, listening to. I really have nothing else for you right now. I've got a lot of laundry to do. I've got a lot of, I've got some other stuff to do towards my unnamed Don't Want to Jinx It Yet project. So I've got to get going and get this edited. But I hope that everybody has a fantastic month. April is the best month because it's my birthday month. And it's spring. And I mean, it's got the best day of the year, April 29th, right? Or the ideal date. That's how that goes. That's how the joke goes. It's the ideal date, April 29th. Because it's not too warm, it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket, right? Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic month. Feel free to say hi, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do, if you want to do that. I always love hearing from people. If not here, you can DM me over on my Instagram, which is also at DNA Geek Crafts, or comment on one of my Instagram photos, whatever you want to do. Let me know that you're out there. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next month. Bye.